Morning, all. All right, so one game tonight in the National Hockey League, of course. Game three between Florida and the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina's the road team. Now, usually we would look at this and say, well, Carolina's really good at home in the playoffs. They've had struggles on the road in the playoffs. They're going to have to flip that script quickly here in Florida. And Florida has been better on the road than at home. Florida has an 8-game road winning streak in the playoffs. At home, they've lost their share of games, so there's the possibility Carolina gets that win tonight. And of course, they have to. If they lose this game, it's basically done. The huge comebacks we see are usually in rounds one and two, not so often in the conference final. But for Florida, all they have to do is win tonight, and that basically should cinch it for them since they are so good on the road. And these teams play basically the same style of hockey. So on the Carolina side, I put up Jack Drury's name. He only has 3 assists so far in these playoffs. Drury is a player who's been around the net. He's had his opportunities. I think he's due for a goal. Sebastian Aho, the star of this team, and a player who, in another location, probably produced more points. He has 5 goals, 7 assists so far this season. Really is scoring by committee in Carolina, and we're kind of back to that situation where Carolina's not really scoring a lot. Now, I know a lot of that has to do with Bobrovsky as well, but this is a problem Carolina's had in previous playoffs as well. Freddie Anderson will start tonight for Carolina. I don't think Antti Ranta cost them game two, but having Freddie Anderson back in net, that'll be nice to see. On the Florida side, I put up Colin White's name. He only has 1 assist so far in these playoffs. He's due for a goal. He's been around the net. He's had opportunities. So I thought, I'll throw him on the board. We'll see if he gets a goal in this one today. And Matthew Tkachuk, who scores overtime goals and then quickly shoos the players off the ice. Let's go. Come on, let's go. So I do love that vibe. I'm thinking that if it happens at home, he might stay out on the ice and enjoy it a little bit. But that being said, Florida has a chance to put this game or put this series into a stranglehold, and Carolina has a chance to crack that window open a little bit, guarantee themselves at least a game five at home, and a chance to get back into the series. So let me know your pick in the comment section below. The Pittsburgh Penguins officially do have permission to talk to Kyle Dubas. So this is the interesting thing, Brad Treliving has permission to talk to Pittsburgh or the Toronto Maple Leafs. So yeah, we'll see how this recycling of GMs works out, and whether or not Dubas ends up in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh would be an interesting situation because Dubas would be going onto a team that has missed the playoffs for the first time in forever. Really isn't that far off, and so they need the right moves to be made so they can get into contention, and Dubas could be the guy to do that. Of course, the discussion of contracts and how much money he gives everybody is out there, but the reality is that the core is signed for a while yet to come, so he doesn't have to worry about that, and there are changes that need to be made with Pittsburgh. And while Dubas was clear last Monday that he didn't want to be GM anywhere other than Toronto, getting fired might have changed his mind on that. So that might be a motivator. I would think that would motivate me a little bit too. All right, so the reason I'm wearing Whalers, it is out there still, the Connecticut governor hoping that he can get a meeting with the NHL. And what's interesting with this is reading that he has talked to the NHL before about the Coyotes and the possibility of moving them to Hartford, that he has believed for a while that Hartford would work. And I'm going to say this too, previous governors also wanted to get the Hartford Whalers back. So there may be a political slant to this as well. It may be a governor knowing darn well that it's not going to happen, but maybe he's an optimist and believes that they have a chance of getting the Whalers back. Either way, if you can get these blue jerseys back on the ice, I'm there. I'm for it. So we'll see if there's anything to that. But of course, for the Coyotes, they will be given a certain period of time to try to find another solution based out of Arizona. In the AHL playoffs, the Final Four are set with the Milwaukee Admirals winning 5-2 and eliminating the Texas Stars. So, Dallas could call them up if they want to. But yeah, so that means Milwaukee will now play Coachella Valley. That series starts on Thursday. The series between Hershey and Rochester starts on Tuesday. Game 2 is Thursday in that series. Those two teams have been waiting a while to get that series started. And with it being in the Final Four, the series are now best of 7, not best of 5. So, yeah, Milwaukee moves on, and we'll see how far they can go. Tomasino with some points for them in the run, and for Nashville, this is good experience for young players who are getting to experience that. I mean to use experience twice in the same sentence. Terrible, terrible grammar. I apologize. Any kids watching, don't do that. Don't use the same word in a sentence twice. But yeah, it's got to be great for Nashville to see young players getting a chance to have this experience once. There you go. In a playoff run, even though it's in the AHL, it's still pretty good playoffs. Take it from somebody who was there. All right, the Petes, Peterborough. They win 2-1. It is the most creative name in the history of hockey. It really is. The Peterborough Petes. They win 2-1, advancing to the Memorial Cup and eliminating London. So it is going to be interesting to see how these go. Kamloops, of course, being the host. The Memorial Cup starts on Thursday. Seattle is qualified for the WHL. The Quebec Remparts have qualified from the Q, and Peterborough qualifying from the OHL. And so here we go. One of those four will be your Memorial Cup champions. I wouldn't bet against Seattle, to be honest. Gunther with 16 goals in the WHL playoffs. Yeah, he really is NHL ready. We saw that with Arizona this year. It kind of feels unfair for Dylan Gunther to be out there with all these junior kids when he is clearly ready for a pretty prominent role with the Coyotes next season. But there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.